So why would I choose to invest in mobile home parks or manufactured housing communities over the stock market or even other real estate asset classes? Because manufactured housing communities can be excellent investments for many reasons. First of all, there is lots of demand for workforce housing right now. I mean, did you all know that 20% of the workers in the US still earn less than $20,000 per year? That means they can afford $600-700 a month tops in rent, right? The average two-bedroom apartment is more than double that in the US. And with only about 44,000 mobile home parks in the US, and the vast majority of municipalities not allowing more to be built, we are definitely in an affordable housing crisis right now. And we are very underbuilt for this low-wage workforce. You know, there are lots and lots of demand for this form of housing. And it is one of the least expensive forms of detached housing you could possibly get in the US by about a six-fold number. So it's a huge win for your tenants who can't afford expensive apartments or single-family homes, but they still want the privacy of a single-family house living. There are excellent benefits for owners as well. These assets are generally much higher in cash-on-cash returns because these assets can still be bought at higher cap rates. They have a seller population that's usually more amenable to seller carrybacks because they're individual owners. They're not hedge funds or institutional investors yet anyway, right? So you put together the higher entry cap levels, the creative financing, and that's definitely a recipe for higher cash-on-cash returns. And you know, there's still a stigma surrounding this asset class or this subclass of real estate as well. So it's really still easier to get a good deal on a property versus other subclasses in real estate that are kind of the darlings of private equity and institutional investors right now. But that is changing as more and more sophisticated investors like private equity and family offices and those we've mentioned before, they're realizing the potential of this asset class. So now is a very, very good time to be jumping in. I mentioned before, a large proportion of these owners that own these parks currently are much more reasonable in what they would sell the park for. And they have flexibility to be creative with their financing piece because they are the sole owners. Sometimes they can even seller finance the entire deal, which would turn into a non-recourse type of situation for the new owner. So lots of benefits there. And you know, some people love single family homes, and I'm one of them. I own a lot of single family homes, but you know, you can definitely infill parks much more economically than building out, say, build to rent single family home communities. Mobile homes are much cheaper to rent for the affordable housing population that you're trying to serve as well. It is much, much easier to rehab existing manufactured houses than it is to rehab a single family home. And it's much cheaper too. These, you know, renovated mobile homes can then be sold to tenants who not only get to experience the pride of ownership and generally will take care of things much better if they own it, but then they pay you pad rent and you don't have to worry about any of the repairs and maintenance costs for these assets. So it's really a win-win. Mobile home parks can really be tricky to operate, but they're still real estate, right? From an operations standpoint, systems can be put into place to have someone who lives in the park be a park manager. Just like with other subclasses of real estate, you don't want to be the one managing this, right? You don't want to be doing this yourself. The park manager can be your operations person. They can have eyes on the park 24/7, or you can even use a third-party operator, which are creeping up more and more in this subclass of real estate because there's a need for it. Or, you know, you can just invest in a syndication that has operational expertise and a proven track record. There are many, many ways to enter this subclass of real estate. And I really believe that mobile home parks can be a great alternative to the ups and downs of the stock market as well, as this subclass of real estate has one of the best Sharpe ratios of any asset class out there, meaning your money goes to work for you at a much lower risk. And that's what we want, right? So your stock portfolio can go to zero sometimes when you need it the most in your retirement years. Hard assets like mobile home parks and other real estate investments don't go to zero. It's obvious I like this subclass And I really am a champion of it, especially over things like the more volatile stock market. But there are so many other choices if mobile home parks aren't your thing. So let me know, which type of investment would you like to hear about next? Do you want to hear about car washes? Do you want to hear about single family homes or multifamily or mineral rights or short-term vacation rentals? Let me know in the comments below. And here's to winning your time back.